Jesus Freak here. And when you look at the majority of modern English Bibles, even a lot of the ones that claim that they're independent translations, they all seem to use one translation as their gold standard. Yeah. Even the NIV, even I think the Good News Bible somewhat relies on the King James as, what it's trying to be somewhat like a more modern King James, more paraphrastic, but it tries to be in that line and fails hard. But it's definitely trying. The most obvious of these are the ERV, ASV, the direct revisions. But pretty much the New American Bible Catholic translation is descended directly from the King James by means of Challoner, or was basically a revision of the Douay, using the King James as a base, and then the New American Bible is descended from a revision of the Challoner. And then the Revised Standard, New Revised Standard, direct descendants. Revised English Bible is direct descendant by means of the English Revised Version, as much as it claims it's a new translation, and it is kind of out there, especially the New English Bible that it was a revision of. But one thing I noticed, there aren't really a lot of these independent translations. They're not really that independent. A lot of times you can spot a few places where it's pretty obvious they're not actually even trying to translate from the original languages, but basically paraphrasing the King James. One of the most obvious places this happens is John 3:16, where the word so succumbed to semantic shift and doesn't exactly work the same way as it did in 1611. So you have either other translations that are still using so, or other ones that say so much, which means they took the word and misunderstood it. It's so in the sense of thus and so. So most of these translations give away the game in John 3:16. One of the rare exceptions is a CSB, which is actually a kind of distant cousin, I believe, of the New King James. In that one of the guys behind the Hodges Farstad text, I believe, started to work on a translation he called Logos 21, and then when he died, the translation got taken over and evolved into the HCSB. Something like that. But even the New International Version, this is another one that goes out of the way to claim it's not in the King James line, and surprisingly often reads pretty similar. Your NASB, your ESV actually are in the King James line. I almost wonder, a lot of these Bibles are, they're trying to pass themselves off as Ersatz King James Bibles, even if they go out of the way to say they're not. Honestly, I'd rather use the real deal. That's just my opinion. For the flaws it has, it does have some flaws. I'd rather use the real thing than something that's trying to be the King James and failing hard at it and doesn't actually improve when it says it is trying to be better at this, better than that. It's failing at that. Though I do frequently use these translations, especially the more scholarly ones, for reference material. For church purposes, I only use the real deal. Jesus freak out.